for the human papillomavirus in 2008, yet this was awarded while he was still under investigation by Swedish police for corruption charges in his ties to AstraZeneca, a main maker of the human papillomavirus, who leveraged his receiving this award. And finally, we may also note another piece of news, and this I assure you don't know yet. Today, while Barack Obama received the Nobel Peace Prize, in my opinion, a travesty, he was also, along with George Bush Jr. and Sr. and Bill Clinton, in a Brussels tribunal in Madrid, and several UK prime ministers, including the last two, were brought up on war crimes against humanity and genocide in Iraq. And since each has perpetuated actions and terror that has led to the deaths of 1.5 million Iraqis, including 500,000 children, and 600% rise in cancer and leukemia due to war and sanctions during the past 19 years. Again, this is from the Brussels Tribunal. In a report from Madrid, a legal case has been filed against 4 presidents. So here we have a man who has a major international tribunal allowing a lawsuit against him for war crimes. Because after all, it's his war now. Afghanistan is his war, and Iraq now is his war. So he gets the Nobel Prize the same day that he's also brought in with Bill Clinton, who really deserves to be brought up because of 500,000 Iraqi children who died because of intentional sanctions that were imposed under Bush Sr. and his administration. This is the world we live in today. Am I disappointed? Yes. Am I surprised by the Nobel Prize Committee? Not at all. They have a history of making stupid, misinformed choices. Now to the good news, health and nutrition and healing. The use of olive leaf, whether in leaf or in teas or in oils, has been used for thousands of years, according to Barbie Trijo of Citizen Journalist. And they have something important here. Olive leaf was used to treat malaria and was successful against some of the worst cases. One of the best ways to treat Candida albicans, you know, that really pesky yeast infection, is with olive leaf, according to many researchers. Through the use of olive leaf's antimicrobial properties, the disease is successfully treated. Now, according to this report, Candida is a naturally occurring yeast found in the body that occurs when the balance of bacteria is disturbed, and this can occur from an overuse of antibiotics, or, like most people, having too much sugar, or emotional stress or environmental influences. Now, this condition has become epidemic in the world, with many doctors not knowing how to treat this illness. There are literally thousands of cures for Candida, and many costing thousands of dollars on the internet. The patient becomes extremely depressed with brain fog and allergies, and in some cases the person becomes incapacitated. Well, Candida is usually attributed to yeast infections, but it can also become a problem in your throat and in your mouth. It also attacks women and men, both, and you end up with that white tongue or thrush. Many doctors state that cancer is caused by a fungus and that Candida is a major cause of cancers. That has not yet been proven, but it's still a speculative issue. So, here's what they're suggesting. If you in this audience have Candida, start using olive leaf extract, 1,000 milligrams, once a day, and see how you feel. Now, we have a lot of people who have prostate cancer. This is in the Journal of the National Cancer Institute, and it's from S.L. Baker, Natural News. Since the prostate antigen screening test, the PSA, began being widely used about 23 years ago, doctors have lauded its ability to detect prostate cancer at a very early stage. In fact, PSA testing has resulted in over 1 million additional men being diagnosed and treated with prostate cancer. The problem is, according to new research just published, most of these cases were overdiagnosed and subjected men to treatment they did not need. In this new study, a Dr. H. Gilbert Welch and of the Dartmouth Institute for Health Policy and Clinical Practice and Dr. Peter Albertson of the University of Connecticut studied data from the National Cancer Institute surveillance. And what they found was that the PSA, since it was introduced, has been used on men in overly aggressive ways. As a result, they're over-diagnosing and hence over-treating. Quote, here's what they say. Given the considerable time that has passed since PSA screening began, most of this excess incidence must represent overdiagnosis. All overdiagnosed patients are needlessly exposed to the hassle factors of obtaining treatment, the financial implications of the diagnosis, and the anxieties associated with becoming a cancer patient. So, be aware that it's not a miracle test. Now, and if you do have a high PSA, understand that we have many natural therapies that can help lower the PSA without radiation or chemotherapy. I'm opposed to high fructose corn syrup. Here's just one of the reasons why from the Journal of Clinical Investigation. In the studies that were looked at the University of California, Davis, they found that consuming fructose-sweetened drinks, that's most beverages, it increased the level of the bad LDL cholesterol. And that's not good. So if you're overweight, if you're diabetic, there's a high probability you're taking in fructose, and you could be in really hurting your cholesterol levels. But something that can help your body, especially treat and prevent osteoporosis, green tea. From Sherry Baker, Health Science Editor, here's what it says. According to the National Institutes of Arthritis, Musculoskeletal and Skin Diseases, the bone-thinning condition known as osteoporosis is a major public health threat for over 44 million Americans, most of whom are women. Approximately 10 million Americans already have osteoporosis, and another 34 million have low bone mass, thinning of the bones, placing them at risk of developing it. Well, now scientists have found a natural substance that could prevent and treat bone-robbing osteoporosis without any side effects at all. A Hong Kong research team has just published new evidence in the American Chemical Society's Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry that green tea may help improve bone health. In fact, they discovered green tea contains a group of chemicals that can stimulate bone formation and help slow its breakdown. That's very, very important. So, along with everything else green tea does, helping with cancer and helping the immune system and helping fight bacteria and infections, it can help prevent osteoporosis. If you've been eating your strawberries, good for you. According to the Nutrition Journal, in this study, freeze-dried strawberries may improve cholesterol levels. Now, I believe that if you took strawberries with cherries and raspberries and blackberries and blueberries, put them all together, you could do a lot better, even if by itself it does well, because strawberries would not have been my first choice for lowering cholesterol. Blackberries would have been. So add the berries. But in any case, it's still all good news. In addition, the omega-3 fatty acids can prevent age-related sight loss. That's good news. Here's the latest on this, and this again, everything I cite is from a peer-reviewed literature. It says the following from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Increasing intakes of the omega-3 fatty acids may reduce the risk of developing age-related blindness by 30%, says the new study from the U.S. National Eye Institute. Quote, if these results are generalized, they may guide the development of low-cost, easily implemented preventative interventions for progression to advanced age-related macular degeneration, wrote the senior researcher. In lay language, hey, take 1 teaspoon of flaxseed oil each morning and put it in your health drink. Take 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, raw organic coconut, put it in also. You could also take in fish oil, but I'm hoping people move away from fish oil into the vegan form of this. Now, this is about pesticides, and this is according to the National Institutes of Neurological Disorders and Stroke. Parkinson's disease belongs to a group of conditions called motor system disorders, which are the result of the loss of the brain